in a continued feeble attempt to create ideas or titles for the ideas pertaining to the artistic license card, this next one is called Parking Ticket. My apologies, but that's the best that I could get. And this is a simplistic idea, but it's a very potent one nonetheless. And the concept is very simple. What you're going to do is take a small post-it note, and what you're actually going to do, I would recommend this size, but you could use the larger ones and fold it up if need be. That is fine. But you're going to take a small post-it note, and what you're actually going to do is you're going to write one of the words that could be selected from the book test portion of the card on that post-it note, and then you're going to just simply stick it like a parking ticket on the back of that card. That card is now inserted into your wallet, and you're now prepped and ready for the routine. Now, in the performance of this routine, you can now open up your wallet, bring out the card, and as you look at the card, look confused for a moment, and then simply peel that off and place the post-it note on the table with the word right side down. Now, it should appear to the participant that, perhaps it's just part of a shopping list or something that has been on the post-it note, and that's just been discarded. In other words, it's implied, although this post-it note is placed close to the participant, it's implied that it subtly that it hasn't got any relevance to what's about to happen. So it's just a very casual thing. Bring the card out of your wallet, just look slightly confused, place that down, and then hand them the card. You will now obviously talk them through the idea behind the effect, and you will have them select a word from the card. You will go through the anagram in the usual fashion. However, if it happens that the participant has actually selected the word that is written on the post-it note, and let's face it, if you're using the US version of the card, then there's like a 1 in 6 chance. If you're using the UK or Euro version of the card, then there's going to be like a 1 in 8 chance, which is still pretty high. It's above a 10% chance that they will select that word. If that happens, if it's fortuitous enough, I think that's the word, for that to happen, then you can not only reveal the word, but you can then further suggest that you actually used your influence techniques to actually get them to select that word. And if they don't believe you, then they should just check out the note that you had placed on the table beforehand, and have not gone anywhere near that, they can reveal it as an extra sort of kicker finish to the effect. So the nice thing is, you have no reason not to use this idea, because obviously when this hits, it makes for a very, very clean effect. Now, I have actually got another way of actually using this in a very sneaky way, because we can actually use this to the same concept to emphasize how difficult it is, to determine a word that a participant's thinking of at random from the card. And the way we would do that is begin by removing the card. We take off the post-it note, place it on the table. We then hand the card to the participant, and we suggest that we are thinking of a word from the back of the card. We ourselves as the performer are thinking of a word from the back of the card. The only clue that we're going to give them is that it's a nice big interesting word, bigger than 8 letters. So we'd like them to glance around the card, and we would like them to determine in their mind what word they believe we're thinking of. We will then ask the participant openly what word is it that they believe that we're thinking of. If the participant replies with the word on the post-it note, we can actually reveal that, bringing the effect to a successful conclusion. And now the participant has actually read our mind. Now, if the participant doesn't name that word, we can just say, unfortunately, it was the word guidance. But that just proves how difficult it is to determine a word that exists in somebody's mind. Unless, of course, this is something which you practice on an everyday basis, if you learn to trust your intuition. So let me show you what I can do. We now obviously have the participant actually select a word in a similar fashion from the card, and proceed with the traditional book test idea as outlined in the videos for this effect. But what's nice is the fact that we get to choose what this word is. So this word is ultimately eliminated from the crib. Okay, whatever word we write on here, won't be selected. So we can say to the participant, I want you to select a word, make it a different word. This word has now been eliminated, which actually reduces our crib and obviously reduces the amount of letters that we need to call out as a result of that. What I would also recommend is that you carefully choose the word that you choose to write on the post-it note, depending on whether you want to eliminate a word. If you want to eliminate a word from the crib, then obviously make it possibly the last selected word. Which will actually shorten the anagram. However, if you want to go in for the psychological approach and the influence approach, whereby you suggest to the participant, I'm thinking of a word from the back of this card, see if you can determine what it is. What I would do is I would go for one of the more appealing words. Maybe not one right near the start, not one near the end, but maybe someone, maybe it's a word somewhere towards the lower middle. Okay, but that's just a simple thing that you can use to increase the impact of the book test style idea. Another little thing that you could do is if you want to use the same concept in conjunction with the playing cards, then what you could do is you could write the name of a playing card, any random playing card on here. And then what you could do is bring the card out, notice the post-it note on there, place it down. And obviously if the participant just so happens to select the card, yes, it's a 1 in 52 chance, but if they actually select the card which is written on here, then you're in for a miracle because you've actually adequately predicted the card that they were going to select ahead of time. I should caution you that I wouldn't write the 2 of clubs on here because we already have that as an out. So we've actually got 2 of the 52 cards now actually covered by virtue of doing this. So by virtue of just having a simple post-it note on the back of the card, you've got everything to gain and absolutely nothing to lose. So do yourselves a favour and give that a go.